Good evening, everyone. Listen, I normally start the show every night. If you've watched this show ever, you'll know I start the show every night with "It's a Great Day for America." But this is September the 11th, and of course that would be a deeply inappropriate thing to say today. It's always the most difficult show of the year for me to do, because on the one hand, I think if I go on and on about, you know, the dreadful events of 7 years ago now, is it being maudlin and is it being depressed? You know, and I think, well, there is a bit of that. And then there's the other part of me that thinks, well, how awful to not in some way mark this terrible day. So I will do it because I think I'm not a preacher and I'm not a newsman. I'm a late night talk show host. But so my job is to do a late night comedy. Well, comedy, you know, we do what we do. And I think that. So what I would do is that I would tonight not say it was a great day for America, and remember that, and remember the victims those 7 years ago, and the astounding sacrifice and bravery of the rescue personnel that day, and we would do it that way, and we would do our show much the same as usual, except I will say to you what you already know, that this day never will be a great day for America. We'll be right back with the regular show, everybody.
It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long day, and you've got the same man at your door. Hang on, keep the TV on, and let's do it anyway. It's okay, tomorrow's just your future yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Ferguson.
Welcome to Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Late Late Show. I am your host, TV's Craig Ferguson. Please, stop with the completely genuine reaction of love. Please sit down, relax, everybody. You at home too. Please, you don't need to stand up. Candy. Play your cards right, you might get some. This being the day as all the candidates took the day off from the electioneering, but John McCain's daughter revealed that when her dad was young, he dated a stripper. I know! But it's not really a big deal, because when McCain was young, a stripper was just a lady who took her coat off. I know. Now listen to this. There's a study that came out this week that says that when it comes to reproduction, men have a biological clock too. I know I do. My big hand is always playing with my little hand. Or is it the other way around? I can never remember. Listen, Kanye West, I love Kanye West, but he was in trouble today. He was arrested this morning at LAX. Do we have the headline? Look, yeah, Kanye West arrested after school. In case you don't understand me saying it, we have it written down. He was arrested. What he does is he smashed a paparazzi guy's camera, and then he realised that TMZ are filming the whole thing, so he tried to smash their camera too. But cameras are everywhere. You can't stop them all. You smash the TMZ camera, and then you have to smash the airport security camera, then the satellite from space. It's like whack-a-mole. You're not going to win, Kanye. If Kanye really wanted to destroy the photographer's camera, he should have checked it in as baggage. Take that, baggage handlers. By the way, there's a bar up in Hollywood Boulevard called Baggage Handlers. Tell them I sent you. Never mind. I don't like the paparazzi, but I don't advocate smashing their cameras. Well, I do a little bit, but not much for legal reasons. I like Kanye West, though. I got a lot of his music on my iPod, and I don't really know how it got there. Did that happen to you with your iPod? I'm like, I love Kanye. How did my iPod know? It kind of does things. It goes, and it goes, I think you'll like this. I'm like, how do you don't know me? Actually, you do. My iPod downloads stuff that it thinks I want. I looked at my iPod the other day. I'm looking at it. It's got Bette Midler, John Tesh, Mamma Mia, the soundtrack, and then there's stuff that I don't want there as well. Do you know what? I do like Kanye West because I like him because he's outspoken and kind of an outlaw, the way a rock star should be. You know, he smashes cameras and throwing TVs out of windows. Everyone does that now. Usually when this show is on. Cheeky monkeys! I sympathise with Kanye, though, to be hounded by the paparazzi. I know what that's like. No, I don't. No one gives a rat's ass about my picture. I was once filmed by the TMZ. Recently, I was coming out of a restaurant, and this paparazzi comes up with a video camera in my face, and I wanted to be all furious and be angry, and he said, "Excuse me, Craig," and I went, "Yeah," and he said, "Did you like the restaurant?" I said, "Yes." He's like, and did you enjoy your meal? I said, "Yes, it was actually pretty good." And then he said, "I like your show." I said, "You're not giving me much to work with here." How can you be angry at the polite paparazzi? He's like, "Oh, you've got a nice haircut." I'm like, "Thank you." A bit of insulting. Eventually I had to say to him, "Look, pal, you need to go and find yourself some real celebrities." He said, "I know, but the pickings are slim tonight. It was either you or Rob Schneider." And then we both laughed. We both laughed, and then I gave my valet parking ticket to Rob Schneider, and he went and got that. There's a street in Los Angeles called Robertson Boulevard, and that's where all the paparazzi hang out. So when the stars want to be photographed, they go to Robertson. You know, when they want to pretend they don't want to be photographed, they go to Robertson and then they get photographed. And it ends up in the magazines. You know, the stars, they're just like us wearing full makeup, high heels and a $3,000 Dolce & Gabbana dress. But enough about Ryan Seacrest. What I really want to talk about... It's really very simple. If you don't want to be photographed, then don't go where the paparazzi hang out. You never see the big stars going to Robertson. Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Tom Selleck even. They don't go to there. Complaining about the paparazzi on Robertson's like going to Hooters and complaining about the food. It's ridiculous. Actually, that doesn't make any sense at all. By the way, Hooters is the place you can find Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, and Tom Selleck. Well, maybe not Tom Cruise. I don't know. Anyway, I'll knock it off. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'll get into trouble now for saying Tom Cruise doesn't go to Hooters. What are you implying? I'm implying he doesn't like fried food is what I'm implying. Everybody has their own taste. A couple of months ago, the paparazzi, they get into trouble with the surfers on Malibu. The surfers in Malibu beat up the paparazzi. And I was shocked, but then because people think, you think surfers are sort of gentle hippies of the sea. You think they're kind of aquatic granola people with their kind underwater ways. Oh, gnarly, dude. They're not. They're not. They're angry and they're tough and they smell like clams. I saw a tape of those surfers fighting the paparazzi, right? And right in the middle of the surfer, right, he yells at this paparazzi. He's like, "Hey, man, why don't you get a real job?" And I'm thinking, whoa. You're throwing a stone in a glass house there, my friend. You're a surfer. Your job is standing on a board in Speedos. That's not a job. Anyway, the reason the paparazzi were there on the beach is they're trying to take pictures of Matthew McConaughey without his shirt on. And I'm thinking, why? I've never seen a photograph of Matthew McConaughey with anything but his shirt off. He's always got his shirt off. Do we really need more pictures of Matthew McConaughey with his shirt off? Yes, we do. I tell you, you cannot get away from the cameras, is what I'm saying. They're everywhere. Even when you go in the roller coaster, they take the pictures of everyone before the big drop. And you think, I don't know why you would want that picture. Everyone looks the same, looking... I went on the log flume ride at Disneyland, and the picture was embarrassing. It's me going, and the spray is hitting me in the face. I was soaked. The embarrassing part was we hadn't hit the water yet. It was... It's a joke, guy. We have to take a break. We'll be right back, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Don't you point that camera at me. I'll come over there and smash it. Wouldn't make any sense, really, would it? Then it would be a radio show. Radio wouldn't be bad, actually. I'd quite like to do a radio show. I wouldn't wear pants ever again. I took them off during the commercial break. I'm not wearing pants now. You wouldn't be cheering if you'd actually seen my bear business. Bear business. Bear business. It's a documentary on Animal Planet about how bears like to conduct their business. This week on Bear Business, old Gentle Ben is, burying his trousers. I don't know. I can't be mucking around. Do we have any time for,
Well, there's always time for email on this show.
Deedly-do.
Well, there's always time for email on this show. Yes, there's always time for email. A guy or a gal or she-mail us their message on the great big email hole.
Do-dee-do-do-do-do. All right, this is from Sarah in Sheboygan in Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin. You know what I love about Wisconsin? Many things, but I enjoy their complete dedication to cheese. The thing is, it's not like a lot of different cheeses, is it? It's basically just one particular type of cheese, just a lot of it. I'm going to get letters from people in Wisconsin now. How dare you? They'll say in their mock British accents. How dare you, sir? I've lived in Wisconsin for many years, and we have over 12 types of cheese. Sarah in Sheboygan, Wisconsin says, Dear Craig, I love your show. I especially love all the voice impersonations that you do. Can you do a Sheboygan accent? Well, I think I just did, didn't I? Welcome to Sheboygan. Enjoy your cheese. Do you know there was once I had actually it was my it was a friend of mine, an American friend of mine. We went back to Scotland and we were in the local supermarket, and it shows you how the languages are different because we're in the local supermarket and next to the cheese the cheese counter, the little deli part, they had a big sign up. Because they had lots of different, big wheels of cheese, and you don't want a whole wheel of cheese, you just want a slice of cheese. And there was lots of, and the guy would come over, and they had a sign up that said, please ask, we'd be delighted to cut the cheese. You can't put that up in Sheboygan. All right, this is from, is that how you say it, Sheboygan? Well, unless you do it in a Sheboygan accent, then it's Sheboygan. This is from James in Athens, Georgia. I'm going to Athens, Georgia. I am. I'm going to Athens, Georgia, home of... I'm going next week. I think it's next week. It could be any time in your region. I don't know. It's... I think it's next Friday or Saturday. I'm going to Athens, Georgia. I'm doing the stand-up comedy, which is basically like this show, except I stand up, there's no desk, and I cuss a lot. But the... It's like the monologue. But the... I've never been to Athens, Georgia. And I'm very excited about it because the B-52s are from Athens, Georgia, and REM, and college football. Very good college football team in Athens, Georgia. So take that, Athens, Greece, with your history and... Athens, Greece. Athens, Georgia, that's what I'm talking about. James in Athens, Georgia says, Dear Craig, have you ever been to Rome, New York, or Paris, Texas? Well, what do you mean by that, then? Are there towns in Texas called Rome and New York? Really? Well, that's just showing off. I've been to Rome, New York, Paris, and Texas. I've just never been to Rome. It doesn't make any sense. All right, this is from David in Limerick in PA. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There's another one in Philadelphia. It's a small area of the town of Philadelphia called Limerick. I know a Limerick, but it's about the town of Nantucket. It's a completely different. And David in Limerick in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania sounds a bit like Transylvania, doesn't it? And do you know what they make in Pennsylvania? They make, what do they make there? Cheese. Please ask. We'd be delighted to cut the cheese. Sorry. Craig, out of curiosity, I was wondering what your favourite one-hit wonder song is. That's a good. I get asked this all the time. No, you know what it is? It's the flock of seagulls. Remember that? The and I ran so far away. No, please. No, too little, too late. We don't have time for any more emails, but what I want the other day I was talking on the show, because I used to have an earring, and I took it out when I got this job on this show. I took it out because I said, well, after 40 you shouldn't wear your earring, right? I thought, I'm not putting back in until I'm 60, because I've been between 40 and 60, a man with an earring, I thought, yeah, it looks like you're trying too hard. You know what I mean? Trying too hard, kind of, my hat on backwards and everything, and it's like, put your hat on the right way, Grandpa, and take the earring out. But then when you're old again, you can go, I don't give a I'll do what I like. So I've decided that I'm maybe going to put the earring back in now, because, live fast. And anyway, so I said, let's have a poll, and people have been polling in with their emails on the Google net, and the results here are the results so far on the great earring poll. Well, if I should put my earring back in, for 79 viewers. That's almost the entire amount of people who watch this show. Against 7. And we have 3 undecided. 3 undecided. I don't know if you should put his earring in or not. And it must be torture for you. Will he put it in? Will he not put it in? I think what I'll do is tomorrow night, when I come and do the show tomorrow night, I'll have an earring somewhere on the desk, and I'll put it in and give you a look. And then that way you can look at the earring and say, no. Or, yes. Or, I'm undecided. Harrison Ford's got an earring now. Did you notice that? I think Callista's making him wear it. Put your earring in, Harrison. No, I don't want to. Go on. Doesn't it make me look stupid? No, you look great. Put it in. All right. There. But some people are going, I'm not so sure. Yeah. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with the show. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Now, this being the day that it is, I didn't want to have any movie stars or celebrities or the usual people that we have on the show. All right, we never really have movie stars. I wanted to keep it family because it's a different show, but then I ended up getting a movie star anyway. Yes. Please welcome my little sister, Lynn Ferguson, everybody. Lynn Ferguson. You know what I like? What? I like that they gave me a card with questions on it to ask my sister. Oh, how are you today, Lynn?
I'm okay. What are the questions? Come on, I want to.
No, I never look at the questions. It's bad luck. I have them make questions so that that I can ask questions if I don't, if I always tear the thing up. I'm not comfortable asking questions for other people.
Aren't you in the wrong job then?
No, it's a very good job for me. Hey, listen, I like your. Are they new shoes?
They're my new shoes, and I was really worried that I couldn't walk in them. I can walk in them. No, they're good, though, aren't they good?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Here, look, your button's undone.
Don't do that. People will talk.
What are they going to talk about?
Well,
No.
family things.
That's so. How are you? You have a nice time? Are you having a nice time in America?
I'm having a lovely time in America.
You're not originally from America,
no,
I believe.
I'm not originally from America. Can I tell you my America story?
Sure, why
I have
not?
an America story. I was doing the Edinburgh Festival. and-
Very American so far.
Well,
Was it Edinburgh,
stop,
Texas?
Stop. You can't invite me on your show and talk at
Yes,
me
I
all
can,
the...
yes, I can, yes, I can.
No, you can't.
My show, my
No,
show,
I've
my
not
show,
seen
my
it.
show.
Right, okay, get your questions out. Get your questions out.
Hold on.
They better be good.
So you did the voice in Chicken Run
Yeah,
of the chicken.
I did, yeah. I did
Mac
that
the
chicken.
Scottish chicken.
I did that chicken, yeah. Do you know that really works?
Tell us your American story.
No,
come on.
I'm going to tell you the thing that really worries me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your
well,
accent.
Shut up, I understand. I'm really worried, right? I'm really worried. This is true. Sometimes I worry that I'm going to die of bird flu. Do you know what I mean? Because if I die of bird flu, then they'll put this thing on the papers, which is Chicken Run star dies of bird flu. Do you know what I mean? And then I just
That would be terribly embarrassing after you're dead. It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter to me.
Wouldn't matter to me.
Anyway, let me do my American story.
All right, okay.
Right. So in Edinburgh,
Very American
very
so far.
American.
Right.
There was Americans on before my show and Americans on after my
So
show.
you were in a venue where there was lots of different people appearing throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I have to translate this. And there was some American performers on, then there was you, then there was some more American performers on.
That's right.
Right.
You've got that right. Okay.
Right.
The ones who were on after me.
The Wans.
Don't even start this. Just because you've got your green card, don't you
no,
get
I'm-
all Burt Lancaster with me.
Citizen now.
You're a citizen.
Yeah, that's right. I can have you arrested. All right, tell us a story. So,
What for? What would you get me arrested for?
fabulousness.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
You can
So you're-
feel the air go cold there
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get me arrested for what?
No, I
I'll tell
wouldn't
a
get you
secret.
arrested. No, because I know that those days
Do you
are
know,
behind
backstage, they're just going, do stories about Craig when he was a kid, tell embarrassing stories.
No, no.
Because I'm going, what am I going to speak about? And they go, well, just do stories about him.
No, don't do that.
Do you know? Yeah, do. Do you remember you used to do, because when you did the flock of seagulls thing there? But
I don't need you to tell this.
I'm telling you. Because you used to annoy me by doing the flock of seagulls like that round out. He's been doing that joke for like years, right? The other thing that he used to do, and this is how we in our family knew he was really weird. Do you remember that he used to take the soliloquies of William Shakespeare and put them to the tune of Elvis Presley songs? You did.
It
you
might
did.
have worked. It might have worked.
You did. Go, do, right. Do Now Is the Winter of Our Discontent, right, to the tune of Good Luck Charm. Because remember, I banned you from that, right? Do it. Go, do it. And then I'll speak after that, right? You do it.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this house of York. Yeah, that more of that. Now tell me your American story. You're on in a what do you call it?
I was on in a theatre.
Right.
Right. And the people that were on before, well, there was a guy on before me, he was American, he was horrible.
That's the only one.
What, the only horrible American?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
You're a guest in this country, madam. What's your manners?
I don't believe that.
All right.
Anyhow, right? And I was going to talk politics there, but I don't know anything
Don't
about
talk
politics.
about
I don't know
politics.
anything about politics. I
Good.
don't
Nobody
even
else does either. Doesn't stop him.
So there was a guy on before me who was American, and he was horrible, and he kept like overrunning his show. And he said, right, he said to the people who were running the venues, he said, that Irish girl, I know, and I like Irish people, and that Irish girl, she's like cranky with me. And so I got really angry.
This American man from the valley and a girl?
He was Indian. No, but anyway, he said that he was I was Irish and he was angry at me and he thought that I was crazy. And I said, well, I said to his manager, I said, you tell that Irish guy, you tell that American guy that this Irish woman has an Irish brother who does a show in America and he's an American citizen now and he's going to pull his head off if he annoys me again.
Don't say that.
Why?
Because
You were a good fighter once. Shut up. You were a good fighter once.
Shut up.
Listen, you
Look, here's what's happening out there in America. Oh, really? Good fighter? Let's see how good you really are. I wasn't a good fighter. I was just drunk.
That's true.
Yeah. You still get drunk quite a lot, don't you?
I don't get drunk.
You do. This is an intervention.
No, You know what? I've got a really bad cough, and when I go back to Scotland, I'm leaving you my cold. I do not get drunk a lot. I don't.
Really?
I've got kids, and you've been showing my child on your television-y thing.
I thought it was Phil Collins. I thought it was Phil Collins. Look, we have a picture of
Don't do
Lachlan.
this.
Do we have a picture? Look, I thought it was Phil Collins.
That's my baby.
I know.
You know what worries me, though?
What is it? What worry?
What worries me is I got a bigger clap for my shoes than I did for my baby. I'm like, oh, that's my baby. Show my baby again. Go on. Hey, what about my shoes? There's my shoes.
No.
Actually, they didn't get much
This
chance.
is Los Angeles. Shoes are more important than
My
children.
baby. I do miss them, actually. It's
Yeah, I
weird.
know. Well, you've been here since when? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Staying at my house?
Yeah.
When are you going home?
I'm going home. I'm going home tomorrow. I'm going home
Really?
tomorrow, yeah.
That's nice.
I just came over. You like me there, you do.
I do like you there. You're lots of fun. You get drunk. Bring out everybody.
I do not
You
get
are
drunk.
such an old soak.
I am so...
Yeah, you are. You like to drink.
I do. Ask me some questions. You know, you can't make me fly 5,000 miles and then not ask me questions.
All right.
Ask me
When you
questions.
did the Chicken Run film,
Right, okay.
Did you and Mel Gibson go out and get drunk together?
No. No.
All right.
What else? Come on.
That's it?
That's what... No, we didn't. I didn't even get to meet Mel Gibson.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get to meet Mel Gibson because he wouldn't come over. Most of it was done in London, and he was in Mexico. He did his recording in Mexico.
All right.
And my friend Julia, who played like the lead chicken,
Right.
she had to go. She went to Mexico to do stuff with Mel, and she smokes, and they wouldn't let her smoke. And then Mel came in, and he was smoking away, and so she got her cigarettes out, and she was smoking too.
So she smoked cigarettes with Mel Gibson?
Yeah, and she said, you know what she said?
What?
Well, she said he had 10 bodyguards, and he's only got one body, and that's tiny.
Listen, hey, you can't badmouth Mel Gibson on this show, lady,
Why?
because we enjoy celebrities here.
I am not bad. How is that bad mouth?
It's not. Now listen, tell me
What?
about the Bad Mothers Club.
Oh, how do you know about that?
Because you told me about
I
it
know, but
already.
you
Tell me
can't-
about it again.
No, you can't.
Lynn is a Bad Mothers Club. I'll tell you about it. Lynn is a Bad Mothers Club, and what happens is that all the mothers where she lives in London, and all the mothers have got kids. They all get babysitters on a Thursday night and go to Lynn's house and get drunk. And they call it a club. It's not a club. It's just an excuse to get hammered.
Technically, that's true, but it's a Wednesday night and it's a bar.
You go to a bar?
We go to a bar.
Ladies in a bar?
It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all women with anoraks and big shoes, and then if a man comes in, we go, get lost, like that. And they all get, and the thing that's with, if you've got small kids,
Yes.
it's really difficult to have a conversation, because you're always going like, get your fingers out that electricity point, and, don't eat the dog, and stuff like that, right? So you have all these women who are so used to having to deflect all the time and not have a conversation. The conversations are fantastic. You can be talking about mortgages and like foundation and yeast infections and like all manner of stuff. Don't do that. You've had yeast infections.
Shut up! I haven't. I fell on some flour and then it got hot and I was in a temperate climate. Things happen.
Everybody gets yeast infections.
I've never had a yeast infection. How could you even say that to me? How can you come over here and come on your brother's show and accuse me of having a yeast infection? Not in any way, by the way, that I'm saying that I'm judging yeast-infected Americans.
Prove to me you've never had a yeast
I cannot
then-
prove. No, how can anyone prove that? That's so stupid. I'm ashamed to call you my sister.
Shut your face. You'll have my cold next week.
I don't understand that accent anymore, I'm telling you.
I know. And when I went back to London after being here the last time, everyone said, why do you speak with an American accent?
Yeah.
I don't know, do I? Do I speak with an American
I
accent?
think the only thing that would unite this country at this point in time is that we're all agreed that you do not speak with an American accent. Anyway, we got to go. This is my little sister Lynn, everybody. She'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. A while ago, I was reading this book. It's called Evil, an investigation. And it's a fascinating study of, well, guess what? It's a study of evil. And Lance Morrow, who wrote this book, was on the show, and we talked a little bit. And I really enjoyed talking to him. And we didn't really have enough time, and I thought, well, what could be more appropriate to invite him back on September the 11th, and we could talk some more about evil. So please welcome back Lance Morrow, everybody. Lance Morrow. Welcome back, Lance. How are you?
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
And I was reading your book about evil, and I thought, well, you know, it's always I find it very difficult to do a show on September the 11th. That's why my sister is on. Is why I find it very difficult because I'm kind of embarrassed by it.
I got myself into a very solemn frame of mind about everything, and then I listened to your sister and you.
Yeah, I know,
So
but that's...
I'm now going to have to.
No,
get
it's not
myself organized.
Well, is it inappropriate to?
No, I mean, it's a fascinating subject to me, although. I write about other things too.
No, I know. Do you write about comedy? You do write a little bit about comedy in this. You talk about humor.
Evil and humor. Yeah.
It's interesting. What kind of evil humor connection is there then?
Well, no, I was interested. I have a chapter in there. I'm trying to remember. But
well,
I was making.
Why
don't you just read it for me? No, but there are interesting parallels between evil and humor, the unpredictability of it, and so on. There are a lot of. I was just kind of drawing out that line for a while.
It's very interesting. With this was written post 9/11, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And didn't you write an essay for Time magazine the day after?
Yeah. No, I wrote it an hour after the second tower went down, and I've never been more enraged in my life. I mean, I was just. We put out a special issue that night.
Right.
And so I had to write it very, very fast.
Have you read the article since?
Yeah, not in the last couple of years, but yeah, I have read it since.
Is it something that you would subscribe to now? I mean,
probably, yeah. But I'd have to kind of. It's. I mean, people who read it thought it was half psychotic, but it was because it was very angry.
You were making the case for rage and retribution.
Well,
right?
that was the headline, and it made it sound even more inflamed than it was. But it was very enraged. I mean, I would be more moderate now in discussing it, but basically, I think I could defend.
Listen, you don't need to defend it with me. I'm good. It's fine. Yeah, no. The case for rage and retribution is burns bright with me. Yeah. What about these fellows who did this on this day? Would they count themselves? This is clearly an evil act.
Yeah, it was clearly an evil act, and it's funny. Today, I was watching the services a bit, and they were quite moving. But the thing is that over a period of time, I found that my mind had developed calluses about this because, number one, I had seen those images so many thousands of times that I think emotionally you just develop a kind of callus, and also you've seen people exploit it politically and so on, and so you get kind of used to it and you move away from it. But I found myself brought back today and thinking about it in a fresh way, and I was thinking about Muhammad Atta and his people and what they were doing and the premeditation of it.
You're right.
And they were premeditating their own destruction and the destruction of the passengers on the planes and the towers, and of course, in contrast to that, you had the acts of courage and heroism and so on of the people, as spontaneous. It was not premeditated, but entirely spontaneous. What those hijackers thought they were doing something self-sacrificing, noble, a martyr's death, and so on. So in their universe, what they were doing was good. In our universe, what they were doing was incredibly evil. And it's an interesting way to try.
Is it that? Can people be that deluded to think that, you know? I mean, there are children on the. You know, I don't want to get too graphic about this, but thousands of innocent people die, and that's okay. That's all right. That you.
Well, do you remember a movie called The Battle of Algiers about Pontecorvo. It's a pseudo documentary about the efforts of the Algerians to throw the French out of Algeria. I'm not saying there's any equivalence in the the geopolitical situation. So I'm simply in the middle of that. You have 3 Algerian women who can pass as French, and when they're dressed up in European clothes, they go out. Each has a bomb in her straw basket, and one of the women goes into an ice cream bar. They go over into the French section of the city, and they go into an ice cream bar, and then you see a little boy licking an ice cream cone, and presently, kaboom! And so it's an act of pure terrorism and so on. Up to that point in the movie, your sympathies are entirely with, or not entirely, but you see the Algerians in the effort to throw out these French colonials and so on. Then she does this thing, and then it's a very complicated movie morally speaking, but it seems to me that always in these calculations, evil is such a difficult thing to make calculations about, and you have to bear in mind that some people think what they're doing makes entirely complete sense, moral sense in their universe.
What about the case for some kind of mental health for people left behind? How do you? If you are related or a loved one of yours was taken down on September the 11th, clearly you have to be around. There's a grieving process, there's rage, and there's anger. What if someone is hit by an immense amount of evil, and I would say this was a completely reprehensible evil act.
Absolutely.
Then how do you survive mentally from that? How do you survive from evil being inflicted on you or someone you love?
I don't know. It's terribly traumatic, and it's the medical psychiatric term is post-traumatic stress disorder, and it must be. God knows what it must be like for
so the
those
act
people.
continues to be evil after the initial act. The
That's
evil
the whole point of it. What's the point of terrorism except to have the act of terror reverberate in the life of that community, in those personal lives and in the life of that community for years? I mean, that's the whole point of terrorism. So that's why they do it. It's not just to wipe out those particular people. It's to have, and you amplify that in a television age. When, Bush said today, he said, there will come a time when people will not have living memories of this day. Well, the fact is that the vast majority of people now thinking about that day don't have a direct living person-to-person. We weren't there. We saw it on television. It was an electronic connection. We saw these images over and over and over again.
Remember it, right?
So those images reverberate in our minds just as, they reverberate a million times more in the minds of the families and so on.
Of course.
So, that's the whole point of terror.
To keep it going. Yes, it probably is. I wish we had more time to talk about this. I find the subject abhorrent and fascinating at the same time.
Well, I do too. That's why I wrote this. It's a very interesting and elusive thing, and it's very, very hard to pin down. It always jumps away.
We got to go. Lance Morrow, everybody. We'll be right back. This has been our September the 11th show, the most difficult show for me to do every year. I'm sure, though, not as difficult as it is for many people on this day. It can be an extremely difficult day. Thank you for allowing me to have at least one person I love on the show tonight, and one person who helps me try and make sense of what these rat bastards did to us. Business as usual tomorrow. Good night, everybody.